Dear waiting moms, welcome to another episode of Becoming Moms podcast. My name is Dr. Tien. I'm a pharmacist and a fertility coach, and I'm your host. After almost 2 years of my own trying to conceive journey with irregular cycles and insulin resistance, I can understand how challenging and lonely it is to be on this journey. And at the beginning of 2022, I was able to regulate my cycles and fall pregnant naturally, as well as improve my insulin resistance by lowering my A1C down to a normal range after only 6 weeks. I am now on a mission to help all of you waiting moms find a better, more balanced way to optimize your hormones and your body in order to increase your chances of conceiving without feeling like you have to be on any restrictive diet or crazy amount of medication or supplements. I know I don't want to do that, so I don't want you to have to go through that either. Okay, let's get in today's episode. So, we talked about dairy in the last episode, and I had mentioned that I wanted to create a new episode just so we can talk about carbohydrates. And I think it's a really good topic, actually, because I do know that a lot of women who are on this journey, right, with PCOS, and the doctor is telling you that you need to lose weight in order for you to get pregnant. That's mostly one of the things that a lot of women tell me. And the first thing people jump into, like, I would ask them, okay, so what is your plan of losing weight? And a lot of them say, oh, I've tried, low carbs before, or the keto diet. Like, that's a really common answer that I would get from a lot of people. And this is also one of my basically talking point for all of my diabetes patient that I used to work with and still do work with them. But sin is such a, I guess, important topic that a lot of people have misconception on. I really want to get this information to you in a way that will help you make, again, the best decision for yourself. This is really all I want to do, is present to you all of the sides of the argument and what I do for myself and why I decide to do that, and also what you can do for yourself as well that would be beneficial for your own journey and your own body, right? So if you understand your body and how you like to do things, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, this will be a really good background in order to utilize these concepts that I'm about to talk to you today, right? So, and if you're not quite there yet, right, there's also resources that can help you get there. And I have all of that in my free Facebook groups. And also I have free trainings in there. I have, what else? I was going to say this podcast, right? There's a lot of information. But anyway, so let's get into carbohydrates today. And I wanted to start with the keto diet. So this has been popularized in the industry for years now, actually. And I have friends who are actually on this diet or try this diet and they swear by it because it helped them lose so much weight and kept it off. So it's sounds like a benefit, right? But a lot of the time we have some sort of blood sugar, insulin resistance, some sort of issue with our blood sugar when you have PCOS, particularly because actually this condition has also been called diabetes of the ovaries. So in diabetes, a lot of people are also recommended to try low carbs or keto diet. Why is that? Okay. So when you cut out carbohydrates, the thought of it is that your blood sugar will go down because if you have high blood sugar, cutting out sugar or carbohydrates in general, it should help your blood sugar go down, right? And I'm not saying that it does. that doesn't. Technically, cutting out all carbohydrates will reduce your blood sugar and will help you lose weight. But the problem that I have with it is such a strict, restrictive, and it's only beneficial short term. It's not sustainable. So that's the only thing that I don't like about it. And another thing is that it's cut you out of so many other nutrients that you would need. Now, you might say that, well, you decide to cut out dairy in your diet. Like, wouldn't that have the same argument, like cutting out a whole food group? But honestly, the reason I cut out dairy but not carbohydrate is because dairy really only brings in calcium, and that's the main reason that it's been recommended. But with carbohydrates, you're missing out on so many other nutrients that is way more important to you. And another reason that carbohydrate is the base of it is sugar, and you actually need sugar in order to live. Like your cell and your brain and your muscle, this is the source of energy for them. So without this sugar, you're burning protein instead of sugar for energy. So your body go through multiple way of getting you energy, right? So if you starve it and you don't give it any sugar, which is like the main source of energy, it's gonna start burning other things. And if it's burning other thing instead of like using that to give you nutrients, you're not gonna get the benefit of actually eating and enjoying food in general. So I don't want you to cut out the main source of fuel for your body because you actually need it to live. Okay, so, and also another thing, keto diet was created originally is to help people with epilepsy, so people with seizures. They thought that the balance of carbohydrate in their body is out of whack, so this diet will actually help control that. And so for people with epilepsy, it would be an important thing for them to try. And also, keto diet is higher in fat, and a lot of us with PCOS and hormone imbalances, we already have trouble losing weight. Most of the people that I talk to, they always tell me this, and also patient with diabetes that I've worked with, higher fat amount actually worsen your insulin resistance. So we want to basically try to moderate the fat level. So you really can't do a keto diet fully anyways if you are in this try to conceive journey and you have PCOS and hormone imbalances and metabolic syndrome and things like that. So most people just kind of cut out the carbs and they don't really bring up the fat either. So you're not really doing that diet in general, right? So we talked about kind of basic of keto diet and why I don't think it should be recommended that highly. But your doctor will tell you to go on a low carb diet if you have any kind of high blood sugar, because it's such a fast way of giving them that result. So if you go on the low carb diet and the next time you go to checkup, you could have a lower blood sugar and they're going to be like, oh, yes, I did my job, right? I help a patient. But all in all, like I said before, it's not sustainable. It cut you out of so much nutrient that you actually would need in order to conceive. Like if you're in this fertility journey, you need carbohydrates. And also, it's just not sustainable in general. So how can you utilize this information and make it sustainable and healthy for your fertility journey, right? If you have PCOS and other hormonal imbalances, what I want you to think of is instead of cutting out all carbohydrates, just kind of switching them into better ones. So Prom Lab here, interrupting your episode. I do have an announcement that I think will be super exciting and beneficial for you, especially if it doesn't cost anything, right? So I actually have a free Facebook community for waiting moms out there just like you. And this is where I provide a lot of extra additional free training in more in-depth details than I'm able to do here on the podcast. So we've actually had a training recently on insulin resistance, and I had a whole multiple ones on egg quality, what you actually need to be eating to improve your egg quality, things like that, like nutrition, what to eat, so much more too on there in this little community. And I do these training once a month in my free Facebook group that you can join that doesn't cost you anything. And you actually get to meet other waiting moms just like yourself to share the journey that you guys are on and keeping each other supported, keeping each other accountable on doing all the things that will be so beneficial for you and your new baby to help you really optimize your body and your hormones to be the perfect place for as a future home for your baby for the next 9 months, right? And these little trainings are designed to help you get pregnant even sooner than most people who wouldn't have access to these trainings, right? So when you enter the community, make sure though you answer my question before joining. I have a lot of people trying to join but don't answer any of my questions. I decline them immediately because I actually want this community to be exclusive for people who are serious about their condition, about their health, and about their trying to conceive journey. I want to be able to tailor this group into what would be the best for you. So these questions are meant to help me help you even more. So if you answer them and you'll get in immediately, right? It just shows me that you are serious about this journey and you're serious about your health, and you're not just here to look at information, but you're here to actually ready to learn, and you're ready to start that next chapter of your life and starting your pregnancy journey instead of just waiting and waiting and waiting to see when it will be your turn, right? And I know this really overwhelming and lonely sometime on this journey. That's why I create this free community, and I really hope that you decide to join us. So I'll put the link to join my free Facebook community in the description of the podcast. So make sure you check that out, and I can't wait to see you in the community. There are two kinds that exist, right? We have simple carbohydrates, and then we have complex carbohydrates. Most of us are consuming a lot of simple carbohydrates as our main diet instead of complex carbohydrates. I actually don't know why we're doing that, to be honest. Like, culture wise, like my Vietnamese cuisine, we eat a lot of white rice, and that's a simple carbohydrates. We also eat a lot of noodles; those are also simple carbohydrates. And then we eat like spring roll wraps. That's also simple carbohydrates. So I grew up for like the past. I'm 33 now, I think. Yeah, I can't tell anymore after 30. I'm just like whatever age I'm at, but I've eaten white rice for like a good majority of my life. And when I was trying to conceive, I really wanted to do better for my body and really help create this perfect home for my baby, right? And it would help me conceive anyway. So I was doing all this nutrition switch prep. And one of the things I switched was instead of eating white rice, I would eat quinoa. And to me, it tastes just like white rice. My mom will tell you different, but yeah. Um, and the texture is the same to me. It doesn't look white, but who cares what color it is if it's good for you, right? So complex carbohydrates, things like quinoa, oats, and sweet potatoes, chickpea, brown rice. Those are my go-to. They're easy, they're cheap, easy to find, right? Easy to make. And these helps you. They're complex. The reason that they're complex because they have um a higher glycemic index, or is it lower? I can't remember now. I would double check on this. But I think it's low. I think. This is really bad. Like, I should know this, but anyways, it's so that it's slower to digest, slower to consume. So your body takes a longer time to get this, to break this down, and that's actually a benefit to you because it gives your body enough time to be full. So you stay full longer, you have more energy for longer. And then also, if you worry about blood sugar, your blood sugar will go up a lot slower than if you had that you were to consume a simple carbohydrate like white rice. It's going to shoot up your blood sugar a lot faster. It's gonna get consumed a lot faster, so you are gonna be hungry a lot sooner. And that's kind of the cravings part, like the physical cravings, because your body just quickly, eat up all of this sugar, eat up all of this energy. It's already finished utilizing it. You have nothing left in your body. You're going to feel really hungry really fast. And that's when we trying to find snacks when we don't really need to yet, right? I'm not against snacking. Like, I love snacking. I'm about to have some right now after I finish recording this episode. But maybe you don't have anything, that is considered good for fertility right now in your home, and you just consume simple carbohydrate, and now you need to eat something else, and you're stuck with whatever you have in the house that might not be as beneficial for you, right? So that is kind of like the cycle that it brings if you are consuming more simple carbohydrates versus complex carbohydrates. And that's basically all the benefits. And right, we talked about lower your blood sugar, slower spike, and actually that helps with insulin resistant too. If you have a slow and steady rise of blood sugar like you should, your body is going to release insulin at a slower pace instead of dumping it all at once, and that would help with your not cravings, with your insulin resistant if you have that as an issue, with PCOS, right? And then of course it curbs the cravings because like I said, it keep you full a lot longer, keep you satisfied longer, give you even more energy, and fuel all of your muscle and your cells, right? So that's basically what I want you to think about when you want to eat any kind of carbohydrates. And I'm not saying that you can't have pizza or bread or pasta. I eat these things, not pizza because of the dairy situation, right? But I do get the dairy free version of pizza because I still love them. Anyways, what you have to do is kind of be mindful of what you're buying from the store. And like I said before, too, like, these are recommendation works for people with more self understanding your body, and are able to carry out tasks on your own. So read the ingredients on the back of the packages that you're buying, like say pasta for example. See what it's made out of. And one other thing that you should be looking for is enriched. That word in front of anything means that it's processed, and if it's processed, it's simple carbs, which means it's going to burn faster. So we want to look for things like whole grain, whole brown rice, whole flour, that means it wasn't processed and you're getting the carb as is, which is good because that's the complex part. It didn't get, processed down to nothing left and no nutrients are available to you, right? So that's basically your task if you want to try this route, and if you feel like this is something would be beneficial for you in order for you to continue to eat what you love and also get pregnant at the same time and don't have to like change your diet or put yourself in this crazy strict mindset where you can't enjoy anything. And that's really what I want you to know and what I want you to think about, because you deserve to enjoy food. You deserve to have a better relationship with food. And this is something that I work with my client as well. There's always so scared of eating things that kind of hinder them, in enjoying things at like parties and going out to eat. And that's one of the things that I don't want you to have to worry about, even after you've gotten pregnant and, living your life after that. Able to enjoy food and living your life as you feel is a really healthy thing and a really beautiful thing. And I want you to be able to do that. And that comes from your relationship with carbohydrates, one thing, and your relationship with food in general, second thing, right? So work on this one first if that's something you're struggling with, and that if that's something you feel like it would be beneficial to you. And remember the example that I gave earlier, right? Consume thing more like oats instead of cereal. Cereal is basically just sugar. Like if you have any cereal at home, just toss it in the trash. Yeah, it's a little harsh, but I don't know what to tell you. I haven't had cereal in years, and it's like amazing. Uh, but sometime you want a bowl of cereal, like maybe once every 3 months. I feel like that would be a good amount of cereal. But other than that, it's really just, not that healthy for you. And honestly, I used to do this special K diet where they make you eat cereal as like part of your meal, I think. And remember they would have these commercial with like the lady zipping up her jeans and feeling so good in her body because she's been eating special K cereal for days. Yeah, that was me. Don't recommend it. You just feel so hungry after, and you're not getting any nutrient, and you're just starving yourself. And I did that for many years in my 20s because I didn't know any better. Nobody tells you how to eat, how to enjoy your food. So I'm here to tell you, you can still enjoy your food and look good and be healthy so that you have energy, right? Like, if you want to be pregnant, you need energy to carry this baby for 9 months. And then you're still going to need your energy for after the baby is born. Being a mom is hard if you are already a mom and you're trying for your second or third baby. You know what I'm talking about, right? And if you're not a mom yet, trust me, it is the most incredible things, right? But also the hardest thing that I'm still doing in my entire life. Like, I thought going to pharmacy school was hard. I thought getting my degree was hard. I thought passing the board exam was hard. I thought getting my license was hard. No, no, no. And actually, I thought giving birth would be hard. It was not. Like, you have people taking care of all of that for you, like your body knows what to do. So, but being a mom, that's the hard part. And you're going to need energy, like all the energy you can get for that to be a successful and fulfilling experience, right? And eating good, complex, healthy carbohydrates is like step number one. And step number two is actually eating more vegetables. And maybe we'll talk about this in another episode. But that's basically all I have for you guys today. um, we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. And of course, if you have any question at all, feel free to reach out to me. If you don't already follow me on social, find me on Instagram. I post a lot of good recipes on there, and there's some other fun things on content for PCOS in, trying to conceive, or if you just want to find a friend and connect with me, you feel like we vibe together, right? I'm talking like a Gen Z, but anyways, I'm a millennial. I'm a proud millennial. Thank God for that. But anyways, I will see you guys next week in another episode. Well, that's all for today's episode of Becoming Moms. I hope you really enjoyed it and you found it helpful. And if you resonate with everything that I talked about today and you feel like you want to learn more, you want to learn how to truly create sustainable changes that will ensure that you will be able to effortlessly fall pregnant and find freedom from dieting, freedom from killing yourself over at the gyms days in and days out, freedom from all those medication and supplements that you're currently on, so you can stop worrying about your future and stop worrying about if you ever become a mom and start enjoying your baby making journey again. Start living your dream as your reality, right? That probably is just going to have the family that you've always wanted instead of constantly living fear and feel stuck on your trying to conceive journey. Then I really invite you to connect with me. I want to get to know you better and I want to show you how I can make all of that happen for you, right? We'll actually chat for 45 whole minutes where we'll hash out a strategic plan to help you see that regulating your cycles and ovulation isn't all that impossible anymore, but I'll only want you to reach out if you feel like you are 110% committed to your health and that you are ready to take massive action to make it happen, okay? Because we can both talk and talk until we're both blue in the face, but if you are not willing to invest in your health, not willing to invest in yourself, then nothing we can say can really change anything, right? So if you really think that is you and you are ready to see where your powerful self can really take you, then all you gotta do is go to drpromlatwellnesscorner.com/apply and book a free roadmap call with me. I am committed to you and your health, and I will work with you until you are successful. During the session, we will evaluate where your strengths are and what's currently working for you, and then we'll take a look at what we can improve upon, as well as mapping out a plan for you to get there. And then if you are a really good fit, I'll actually offer you a spot in my Becoming Moms community where we will work further with you on how to create a more sustainable and less restrictive way so you can actually optimize your hormones in your body to increase your chances of conceiving without having to think about if you'll ovulate this month at all. Also, make sure to fill out the little short survey attached to our call before the session. So I have a bit of a background on you to better prepare and plan for our session to make sure that you will get the most out of your time with me. Okay, well, I can't wait to speak with you soon. Until then, sending you lots of baby dust.